Thank you for everyone that supported us and has followed this story and shared it and spoken up. And we are here today to make some phone calls, Christy, right?
That's right. So there's nothing better that we can do other than, my thoughts, Megan, were that we call Governor DeSantis' office again because it's post-election. He's won the midterms. And I believe we should give everybody the opportunity to do the right thing. And maybe he hasn't heard about your case, even though I know that there's been many people who have called before. I have personally called before, but it's really difficult to know exactly what to do, especially when you're a politician before an election. So now that he will be on his second term here in Florida, I've written a quick email for everybody to send. You can revise. It's actually below in the description. So basically, it's just a letter to Governor DeSantis letting him know two things. Okay, we're letting him know two things today. Number one, the U.S. Border Control is having to catch and release humans in Miami-Dade airports. Okay, so Megan's father went and campaigned for child safety back in the day. So Adam Walsh's name has been used for 46 years now, right, Megan? Or
Yes,
really
ma'am.
46. Well,
41.
40 years.
41 years.
He would have been 46 today, correct?
Correct.
So Adam and I are technically the same age. So he would have been, I just remember, Megan, and I know I've said this before, I'll say it again, and I'll keep saying it because your dad really affected society with your brother's name and with his story of, him getting taken from the mall. It literally made it so that my own nanny, if you're watching this, she'll remember putting an actual dog leash on me to the point where my grandfather had to tell her, you're not allowed to put a leash on my granddaughter. Okay. It was actually this thing that they used to put on in the 70s, I guess.
Yeah.
They had these ropes that they would put on you in the car because there were no seatbelts.
The leash. No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
And I remember finding this, and he's like, oh, the reason it looks brand new is because I wouldn't let her use it because they were afraid the same thing was going to happen to me. Because before that, I would be able to run around in the stores, hide underneath the racks, be a kid, play with other kids in the store, by the way, and sometimes they would actually get on the intercom systems in the store. Megan, I know you don't even know this because of the era that you grew up in, they would get on the intercom systems in the stores and they would say, Christy Tasker, your mother is waiting for you at the front, and so you would just go to the front because your mom was there waiting on you and she had checked out and it's time to go. It was like a playground in the stores. I mean, I feel bad for the clerks that were having to clean up after us all, right?
Of course.
But that's what happened before. So I know many people probably watching now can probably just associate with that. And then people your age, because you came along in this era of, we're not going to let anybody see our kids. We're not going to let them play together. We're going to have to helicopter parent and watch every single move they make, to the point of absolute terror. So we are going to be calling Governor DeSantis today because we need to get some freedoms back in the state of Florida. People want to call it Freedom Florida. And guess what? There's only one person that can help us do that. And we thought, what a better day to utilize Adam's name than his birthday, because I think if the poor guy had been alive today, he would not agree with having his name utilized. I don't think really anybody would in this way. And then there's the people that think that Governor DeSantis is Adam Walsh. So maybe he should know about that too. What do you think, Megan?
Can we focus, please? Can we focus, people?
Okay. Okay, so I'm basically calling the number 850-717-9337. Again, that number is 850-717-9337. That is the governor's number. And I'm going to put him on speakerphone right now.
Thank you for calling the office of Governor Ron DeSantis. Your call is important to us. Please press 1 to speak with an available staff member. Please press 2 to leave a voicemail for the governor's staff or to share your opinion about legislation or the governor's initiatives. Please press 3 to obtain
Can you hear
contact
that?
information for the governor's office. Para
Can you hear
servicio en
that or
español,
no?
por favor, marque el
Yes.
número 4.
Yeah.
I'm pressing 1.
Your estimated wait time is 21 minutes. Your call may be monitored for quality assurance.
All of our representatives are currently busy. Please continue to hold for the next available staff member.
Okay, Megan. 21-minute hold time. Do you have 21 minutes, or what are they trying to make you do? Let's talk a little bit about what they're trying to make you do right now, in terms of CPS, because I think a lot of people don't realize what CPS is actually, the control that they have and what they're able to do to you on a daily basis.
Yeah. First of all, I would like to say that I have called myself, the governor's office, over a year ago, year and a half, several times. And, we're experiencing the same thing now. So let's see. But yes, with CPS, I think a big thing that people don't realize, and everyone says, oh, you need to do the case plan. You need to do anything you can to get your children back. Why aren't you doing that to whoever the family is or the parent? And, I wish that it was that simple. The problem is, and the issue is, that we have a corrupt system. It is systemic. So what they do, as we now know, and everyone has seen, especially through my case and many others, is they perpetually move the goalpost on your case plan. So as well as they have their contracts, right, Christy? They have their contracted doctors and therapists and all of this. So right now, again, what was it, 2 weeks ago now, the home study was suddenly canceled because they had other technicalities that they found an hour and a half before the visit. And I went back to do.
Megan, can you tell about those technicalities? Because, I think people need to understand the timeline, that you moved out of Indian River County, right? You gave them your new address.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
and they had it for a while, right? They had
All of our staff members are still busy with other callers.
They had your new address? And it,
Yes,
they
they
did. But
did.
it took a while, right? So I'm motioning for my mom to actually bring me her phone so we can have two phones that we're going to work with here. So I want
Great.
people to understand that part, because we're also going to call the media and communications office for Governor DeSantis, because we are a media outlet. We're able to do that. I don't encourage you to call if you're not a media outlet, because you have to be able to provide proof and other things, and we don't need them to know. So I am going to call that number while we're waiting on the typical number that I've asked everybody to call. And you can call and just leave a voice message, but I'm just trying to make sure we get a recording. We have proof that we've actually spoken to someone, to make sure that we're not getting, trapped in a voicemail system. But in the process, what I wanted people to understand is we're actually on a time limit with you right now, because you are having to go take a drug test, correct? Yeah.
Yes, I have to leave in about 10 minutes. So.
Yeah. So you have to.
Maybe you're coming with me. I don't know.
Yeah. So you have to do this pretty often, right? Can you hear me, Megan?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think you froze for a second.
I can now.
How often do you have to do things for CPS?
Yeah.
How many times a week?
Every single day.
Every single day. You have to do
Every
things.
single day.
It's like a job, right? You're always having to do something for them.
It is a job, and it is like being a prisoner outside of jail, and a job.
And they have your children all during the process of this, and the children.
Yes,
Are the children required to go places? Like, are they required to go to the doctors every day? Or, what goes on with the children?
I mean, I haven't seen 3 of my children since the end of August, and they have just done what they wanted. My parents have now gotten my children into therapy. They are trying to say that my beautiful 5-year-old son has issues and needs to be medicated. They're having my daughter tell my son, the baby, that he is a girl. Um, you know, it's they're breaking my children. And they're trying to erase me, which happens in this system every single day.
Yeah, because I think people don't really understand the amount of things that you're required to do and the checklist that they give. And then it also seems like the more they ask for and the more you do, the more they need you to do.
Yes, it's perpetual. It will not end. They do it to you for over a year in hopes that you're going to get your child back the entire time while holding your child and doing God knows what with your child. And then to eventually terminate your rights anyways for their adoption money, and all of that. So
Do you think the
that's
governor's
sadly
aware of
what's
how much? I mean, he has to be aware of this adoption money for the Bill Clinton bill. I mean, there was basically a bill that was signed by Bill Clinton. Hillary Clinton basically agreed with this bill. We all know what she's accused of. We haven't, we're all still waiting for to see some of the proof, even though we've seen some proofs. We haven't
Well,
seen.
regardless, when you go down and you get a child trafficker off of her charges, that says a lot right in the public eye as well. For me,
Yeah.
I don't need much more to know about the rest of it.
Right. That's exactly right. And what is alarming is the governor, if he doesn't know about it, he really needs to know about it. And his wife seems to be very involved in human trafficking from the event that we went to last weekend for the families event. And there was one thing that she said to me that was very alarming as a technologist, and knowing that every app that you place on your phone can track you wherever you're going. So in other words, and I don't mean to alarm everyone right now, but if you have the TikTok app on your phone, the Chinese Communist Party is actually following you around. Okay. And I know that people have it. Listen, there are people that have it on their phones. That's fine. But I'm just saying they are tracking you. You're giving them permission to track you. They own the app TikTok, and same with every other app. They have the ability to track. You can ask them not to track you. Okay. So, but notice that whenever you are saying you're asking them not to track you, it's an ask. It's not a demand. And Apple has the ability to demand or just not allow the geotechnical coordinates for each person to be delivered to the app provider, which they don't. Okay. So, but the governor's wife was actually saying, oh, we're going to create this app in which parents can download and we're going to help them. And so what I hear is another disguise coming on. And I'm like, well, maybe she doesn't know technology. Okay. So that's one of the things. Maybe she doesn't know the technology behind it. But at the same time, I myself have basically gone on and sent the governor a letter explaining in short, the shortest possible explanation possible of how this works. Whenever we have apps on our phone, they're able to track. And I don't think it's something that the state of Florida needs to be involved in. Megan,
Especially not when it's under the guise to support single mothers, which we have a huge issue going on across this country right now. There's a huge father's rights movement going on, and I hope that people will realize that this is just another dividing tactic. This is to we've demonized men for decades and years. My father was a big part of that by telling people never to have a male babysitter, sex offender things and issues of that nature for another time. But we really need to realize that mothers are now being attacked, single mothers, after the whole feminism and the initiative, get men out out of the house. You're strong women. You can go to work. You can raise kids. You can do all of this. Well, now they're coming after that. And I'm not saying that that's what the intention is from the DeSantis, but when this is offered and proposed through an app to help single mothers, that is very concerning, very, very concerning, especially when we know, the profitability of our children.
Our hours are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. To
Yep,
contact
that's
the
true.
governor, please visit flgov.com. Thank you again for calling, and please leave a message.
Record your message after the tone.
So it's making me leave a message.
You can hang up or press 1 for more.
Hello, this message is for Governor DeSantis. Governor DeSantis, this is Christy Tasker. I'm calling on behalf of patriotsperspective.com, but I'm also calling as a citizen of Florida, actually a citizen of Miami-Dade. I'm actually on the line with the daughter of John Walsh of America's Most Wanted. Her name is Megan Walsh. That is John's oldest daughter. And we are calling for two reasons. Number one, it's come to the attention of Patriots Perspective News through border control that children as young as 2 years old are being trafficked in Miami airports, and the Miami-Dade airport, and nothing is being done. They're being told to catch and release the children with the perpetrators. Secondly, Megan herself has been an advocate for CPS and keeping families together. And when she began advocating against CPS and began asking her father questions about her brother Adam's death. And by the way, today is actually his 46th birthday. So we're making a point to call on his birthday because his name has been utilized all over, from everything from missing and exploited children to adoptions, even in the state of Florida. And, I know that we are working underneath the Bill Clinton bill to, hurry these adoptions through. But in Megan's case, we actually have her termination of parental rights were terminated back in August. And during the termination of parental rights, not only she, but several attorneys had actually requested a change of venue. And the change of venue has been denied by the appellate court. And so basically, there is several cases that are put in, appeals have been put in. So eventually that will be heard via the Supreme Court. But these children, her children, have been taken under this disguise of the state of Florida.
The maximum recording time allowed. If you are satisfied with your recording, press 1. To review it, press 2. To delete and re-record your message, press 3.
I'm going to have to delete and re-record.
Yeah, and we're trying to get my children back, not reheard. They need to return them.
This is Christy Tasker. I'm calling on behalf of patriotsperspective.com, but I'm also calling as a citizen of Florida, actually a citizen of Miami-Dade. I'm actually on the line with the daughter of John Walsh of America's Most Wanted. Her name is Megan Walsh. That is John's oldest daughter. And we are calling for two reasons. Number one, it's come to the attention of Patriots Perspective News through border control that children as young as 2 years old are being trafficked in Miami airports, the Miami-Dade airport, and nothing is.
To send your message now, press 1. To mark it as important, message sent. To disconnect, press 1. To enter another number, press 2.
Okay, so I'm going to hang up and we're going to call media relations really quick. Megan, do you have just a minute, or do you need to jump off?
I can stay on for a minute.
Okay.
We do want to make it clear, though, not about retrial or anything. We want it to be clear that due process has not occurred and that this is under fraud, which, again, we know 78% of removals by CPS are unfounded. This needs to be addressed. I think that at the end, we can maybe bring up the immigration real quick to tie that in as well. But, people are suffering because of this.
Hello? Hi, this is Christy Tasker calling from Patriots Perspective News. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm actually calling because we're just trying to get a response for Governor DeSantis. Today is the birthday of Adam Walsh. He is
Mhm.
the little boy that went missing in a Florida mall out of a Sears department store 41 years ago. And we're just trying to get a response from him on a couple of different things. Number one, regarding human trafficking in the state of Florida. His name is Adam Walsh's name is being used along with the state of Florida's name being utilized in Florida courts to terminate rights of parents. And one of those parents just so happens to be Adam's own sister, Megan Walsh, whose father is obviously John Walsh from America's Most Wanted. And there are several issues to be addressed here. One is the court system, is the Indian River court system. And that is the court system that John Walsh openly campaigns for the sheriff. And within that county, they have refused to do a change of venue for Megan's case. So
Kidnapped my kids.
her rights were completely terminated, utilizing the state of Florida, but yet it's a business that actually did this called Communities Connected for Kids. And number one, I literally attended last week at the Palm Beach. I think it's called the Moms
With
for
me.
Moms for DeSantis event with Casey DeSantis, and I was really happy to see that she was very much, in the know about human trafficking and about helping mothers like Megan. Basically, because we have a situation in her case where her parents, under the therapy under a therapist recommendation, she was told not to allow her parents to see her children because of things that she had gone through personally. And CPS was then brought in, again, the same Indian River CPS that John Walsh advocates for and openly campaigns for. And so it's just a very interesting situation. And we just need the governor's response on that.
Yeah, that's definitely a very interesting situation. We actually handle all responses via email, so I can give you the correct email, and I'll let the team know so that they can respond quickly.
Sure.
If that's okay.
Sure. Yes.
It's media at EOG dot myflorida.com.
Okay, perfect. I will definitely send you an email. It's probably going to contain multiple links so that you guys have all the correct data so that the governor can respond accordingly. Okay.
And ask who you're speaking with.
And what is your name?
My name is Gabby.
Gabby. Thank you so much, Gabby. We really appreciate you. And thanks for being there to
Very
serve.
much.
Yeah, we really appreciate you, Gabby.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
God bless.
Okay, well, that sounds positive. So Megan, just so you know where we're going to leave this, so everybody knows, is I have basically all of the evidence. Well, not all. I'm not going to say all of the evidence because I have a lot of your information that we're not going to release, and I've advised you to release some of it on a Patreon, which I hope that you will do because I mean, from what I've seen, it's extremely positive. You're not a clean hazmat-y person, which I think you're always there and you're always on time and you're always alert and you're much too wise to be on drugs or as some of these things claim. Now maybe you might be a little short on cash because you've had every rug pulled out underneath you.
The evils of this world.
Yes. I mean, I do want people to know that, I do see Megan from time to time. I've seen where she lives. I don't ask exactly where she lives, where her RV is parked, because it's not important, because I'm not going there and I don't want to be accused if somebody finds her. Okay. Because it's for her own safety. So usually we find a place to meet, right, Megan? And in the
Yes.
case of Moms for DeSantis, you showed up. You were very graceful, because if I'd had to sit and listen to some of the things that you were having to listen to, knowing what you know, I would have probably wanted to jump out of my seat and be one of those people that you see, being arrested for disrupting something, but you weren't. You were very, very graceful, to the point where a lot of the other moms noticed and said, was that really her? Was that really her? Because she was so calm and so kind. And, I just want people to know that about you. And, the other thing, that you're doing, and I want everybody to know this too. To me, it looks like your nose is healing. Okay.
It is. I have oil on right now that's brown.
Listen,
so sorry, guys, but it is.
I don't encourage you to put on makeup to cover it up, because that infects it. Okay. So a lot of people, think, well, sometimes her nose looks worse. Sometimes it actually doesn't. I want to explain to people what I see. Okay. If you don't mind for just a second, because I'm always telling you this. So skin is basically, when we say beauty is skin deep, the skin is very deep. Okay. And at first, when I saw Megan, it looked deep. Now it's coming up, and the skin is basically building up to cover her nose. So the skin will heal itself if we give it enough.
I've rebuilt my nose, and I am currently, again, the brown that you see in reddish is the treatment. It's Rick Simpson oil. I encourage everyone to please look into it for your own health and your own family. You can make your own decisions about it, but it is patented, and it is a wonderful option for specifically basal cell carcinoma, which is non-melanoma skin cancer, which is what I have. It also has great studies and results within other forms of cancer, like breast cancer, lung, liver, and so on. It is, again, patented. It was created by an amazing man, Rick Simpson. And what it does with basal cell specifically is that basal cell has basically roots, like a wart, if you would, to compare. And when you put the oil on, what it does is it kills the cancer and it falls out. And then it encourages the healthy cells that are remaining to regrow. So it's an incredible oil. In court records, it was made out that I believe that essential oils are going to cure cancer. And it was very weaponized against me. Part of it also, I know I can stay in grace, I guess. How do I want to say this? Because it's kind of proving that point about beauty is only skin deep. I know who I am, and my father and mother have a huge issue with me not looking perfect, and it not being quickly fixed, and at the plastic surgeons and all of that. And for me, this is my medical freedom first and foremost. In this country, we have medical freedom. We have a right to that. And, if I want to try this, then I have every right to do that. That does not mean that my children are in any danger or that they need to be taken from me or have a right to be taken from me. And again, if it doesn't work, then we will go on to other approaches to do this. But again, it is non-melanoma. I hope people can stop speaking death over me. And we are encouraged by it. But we are also taking other steps in the event that this is not successful. But my nose has been dug out and rebuilt, and I have had the biopsies, I've had the doctor's supervision, I have the licenses. I'm sorry, public, that wants to hear differently, but I really am here to offer a different solution option. Could you imagine people in Florida if you had to just get an oil and put it on for all the skin cancer that happens? So it's also amazing for taking internally for breast cancer and other forms of cancer. It's absolutely amazing. It's researched and patented. Please, everyone, for your own good, go look into it. Look into the corruption within CPS and law enforcement and how that works hand in hand. And please start reaching out to Governor DeSantis, as well as your other representatives. We just had midterm elections. These people have a duty now, and everyone is watching because they invested in their vote. So please contact your representatives, your Senate representative, House of Representatives, your governors, your AG, your IG. Write one email. We've provided a little start for you here today in the description. Christy's been amazing about that. And please just start emailing and calling. Of course, email, then you have a record and we can start seeing this, and simply say, as concerned citizens of the United States of America, we want to know how you as the politician, you as the elected official, you as the one who took the oath to serve us, when are we talking about child trafficking? When are we talking about the government trafficking our children? When are we talking about that being through CPS? When are we talking? Everyone wants to know even the silly Epstein list, which is not silly. It's been made that way through mainstream media to normalize it to you or to get you on something else. We have, what do we have, Christy? And we are here to talk about that. This is, global trafficking, and everyone wants to know the list. We are giving you the names that you would never find on that list. I have put that out there, and I have lost my entire life, including my children. First and foremost, my children. I don't care about anything else, for this and for this to stop. This needs to stop in our country, and our politicians in grace need to have their feet held to the fire at this point. Enough. We've done their election stuff. We've done their masks. We've done their school board. We've done all their stuff. When are you going to address, and what do you have to say about the issues within and the corruption within the system of CPS across our country?
Yeah. And the other thing, when it comes to this court system, it is like a kangaroo court. I do want people to know that firsthand. I've not been contacted by your father at all. So I know that there are people out there screaming that, your father's contacted them and stuff like that. He has not contacted me. I've seen him face to face in court.
He hasn't even contacted me. So,
no. So, I think a lot of these people don't know what to do, to be honest with you.
Right.
There's a little guy I speak with at a certain market here in town that I believe is a either current or former CIA agent who claims that some of these guys are trying to come clean. And he knows one, and it's actually going to surprise everyone. And I'm not even going to say who it is, Megan, because I think if this guy, he's not even, like, people are going to be shocked. He's on the Epstein flight list. And
I believe it. Is it Kanye?
No, it's not him yet. But listen, exactly. We'll talk to anyone and give them a chance. That's what I want everybody to know. If you're listening to this, it doesn't matter if you are John Walsh. Listen, we'll give you a chance, and we will, I won't throw you under the bus, okay? Because I know what they've tried to do to everyone. We're not
here for that. We're not here for that. We are here to set a new precedent. That's the old, it's this lock them up and throw away the key thing that my dad was, again, another big proponent in this country to push and make sure that happened. And we're at a very bad place within our prison system, our justice system, our child protective services. And these issues are what hits home for Americans. This, the big lesson I hope people see here, not to fearmonger, but if this is happening to me, it will and can happen to you. And it's only getting more loose. So,
well, I'll tell you, Megan, one of the reasons that I reached out to you initially is to make sure that people knew that it can happen to them, because I do believe your dad is the guy who sets the standards for these new laws to come in effect and different things. And if your case becomes case law, this is what people don't understand. Yes. If your case becomes case law in the state of Florida, every parent, and I'm telling you guys, I will post the Nicholas Finyamin where we go through every single indictment, basically. Let's just call it that, because that's what they tried to make it. Even though it's not criminal. Let's just say.
I wish it was. I would have gotten a jury.
Right. Exactly. And that's the thing.
I mean, I
People
don't wish it was, but you know,
no, but well,
they
I
already
mean,
tried that too.
yeah, but they don't have you on anything. And that's what people really need to know is these charges. And when I say charges, I don't even know what to call them. They're basically allegations. That's all they are, is
It's
allegations.
hearsay allegations.
It
And that's
is.
what people need to realize, that CPS, because there's no oversight, they have ultimate immunity and they are allowed to do whatever. And they are taking, there's no burdens of proof. There is nothing. And
And
that's
they
how
don't.
they are taking children.
And when it comes to the media, they don't fall under FOIA because these are businesses. Okay. So
Right.
the organization that you are required to report to now started out with the sheriff's department that your father campaigned for openly with Sheriff Eric Flowers, who Sheriff Flowers could come clean. He could actually come forward and say, Megan, we've made a huge mistake. How can we make this right?
I've said this many, many times. I've said this many times. He's just a little bit older than me. We grew up in the town. We have mutual friends. He has a young family. He has a beautiful son, 8-year-old son that I believe actually has autism. And his life has done nothing but fall apart since he got involved with John Walsh.
Mm-hmm. And if he could just come forward, I mean, again, there's no judgment. We are not throwing stones
No.
at anybody. I want everybody to know that. I mean, I looked at your
No.
father.
He
eye
has
to
a great
eye.
opportunity. He has a great opportunity to set a tone, be a great sheriff, like he said, and turn our small town back into what it was, to stop the trafficking of women, drugs, and children through Indian River County, to stop what John Walsh and Daryl Lauren, the Good Old Boys Club, has been doing for decades. And I'm not, this is just truth. This is not, again, to attack anybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an attack. This is just, I mean, we should all be feeling this way. It's not okay. It's not right. And he has an opportunity to turn that around.
Well, and I want to say this, Rescue the Fosters actually has a comment that says, as Megan's advocate, I'm waiting on a response from the case manager as to why her home study was canceled.
I haven't heard from the case manager since last week when I asked if I could, do something regarding visits, because I will be speaking at a rally in Florida on the 16th. That's in a couple days. But the point here is that I have heard nothing back from her at all.
Mm-hmm. And in court, it's my understanding from you that they had not provided you, prior to the termination of parental rights, they had not even provided you an alternate service provider. Like, in other words, they select these service providers, right? This Communities Connected for Kids, they choose service providers that they contract with, is the way I understand.
It's their contracts, right? That's the money, right?
Okay. So then they choose those people, and they only had one choice, and that choice refused to see you because you wanted to record. Correct? You wanted to record?
Because I wanted to record Shanless, who is taking our children, Dr. Edney, Dr. Williams, and then all of a sudden in the trial, a doctor I've never seen before or met in my life, Dr. Beltran, showed up for the expert witness to seal the deal to have my kids taken. The judge actually justified that based on a doctor that's never met me. Yes, they are all with Shanless. And then the new parental evaluation was supposed to be arranged so that there was no affiliation with Shanless. And we ended up, I just do my research like I do, and I find that the exact doctor used to work at Shanless and under all of these doctors.
Yeah, and the Rescue the Fosters is saying that's an issue if you're not hearing from the case manager. So we would like to know why the case manager.
I hear from her all the time.
Okay, you hear from Rescue the Fosters, not the case manager, right?
No, I talk with my manager often. That's why this is concerning.
Okay, so you do talk to the case manager.
Sorry, yeah.
I know. I want to make sure we're clear. So here's what I'm going to say, everybody. I'll follow up with Megan. She's got to go do a drug test for CPS, and she's got to get out the door because they control every moment. Every moment of your time. It seems like, or on a daily basis. And you have to drive to Indian River for like 40 minutes to take these tests, right? Is that the way I understand it? Okay. So what I'm gonna do
and then
is, you're breaking up, Megan.
sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Say what you want to. Do you?
You're breaking up. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. They make you drive to Indian River County.
Well, that's the issue. That's why logically, even our system does not.
Okay, guys, we lost Megan probably because of the cell reception. So, yeah. So I'm going to say, Kay says that people drug testing RCPS and cops. Okay, that's interesting because I did not know that. Like, listen, I'm all new to this. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish. I basically have, a lot of documentation that I'm going to release on patriotsperspective.com and basically telling Megan's story because we do have mainstream media.
DeSantis, email is even better, and your representatives, but first and foremost DeSantis, so that we can get a response regarding my children. They are not safe, and this needs to end for families all across this country. I know we're losing the feed here, so
do you want to say?
You back?
Yeah, I'm here. Do you want to say goodbye so you can go?
And yeah, I just gave a little recap while you were I don't know if I got cut out or not, but please everyone just be emailing and calling as concerned citizens. This is not a right or an attack or anything. This is our duty as the American people, as per the Constitution. So we need to be calling and asking, and all we want to do is talk. We want to address these situations. There are ways to address this and change this. And yeah, it says he's no good. Well, you know what? We give everyone the benefit of the doubt, and the truth always comes to light. And we're finding that I'm a good one to find that out with all these people. So that's what we're going to do.
Yep, absolutely. And Megan, we'll give you a platform anytime. I've told you, if you want to record anything that you want to record, I have a StreamYard account sitting here. You can record anything you want to at any given time and publish.
We will be doing that. We've talked, we know. So I hope your audience gets excited, because as I've been talking for almost 2 years now and before about really equipping people, what they can do, how they can help. And this is your first call to action, viewers. We need you. Please tell your friends, please share the information, and we will be giving you more and more as this goes. And we need to do this. I'm not here as an icon or an idol that you see on TV every day. I'm here as a loving mother of 4 that wants my children back, and I'm done with what's being done to our families and all of our children.
Well, I have a call to action too that I want people to do. When you see these businesses on these posts, the other thing that we can do is we can vote with our money. Okay. And we are funding these organizations, whether we want to or not, with our tax dollars.
It is your money. Yeah.
Even if you come to Florida for vacation, the majority of Florida is funded with your toll money, your sales tax money, and everything. So, our Florida is your Florida too, if you're coming here.
Will you?
And
yeah, that is true.
And so the one thing I want you to do is I want you to take the links to any of the posts that I make and go on to the Google My Business or the Facebook pages of those businesses and make sure that you write a review in saying, this is what's happening. And we want you to know about this business, okay? Because people need to know, okay? A lot of the businesses already have like a 1-star review, but everybody needs to know about it. Okay, because
once you start looking in your community, you will be appalled as well. This is practice for you.
I was going to say, and Megan, the other thing I'm doing is I'm actually writing a blog post of how you can search for this, because this is not, because I've had to figure it out. It's not easy to figure it out. Okay. But we need
No,
to teach
it's not.
each other how to search for it, because it's how I found that some of your doctors have actually been already the Florida Department of Health on one of them. And he's the owner of the Shanless Inc. has actually been already reprimanded by the state health department, yet he's getting funding from, probably, my guess is probably through Communities Connected for Kids. And then we have to also search their business license to see who's connected with who. So I'm going to teach everybody how to do that. I know you've got to go. I don't want to hold you up because the last thing we need to do is give them an excuse for that you were late for a drug test or something.
Well, yeah, that's and that people, and that's something we will be teaching people. I've been thinking about it for 2 years now. And now we're at the place where we have people like Chris that we can explain these things to you all so that you can do the research that I've done and that the families that have been put through this have had to do. So thank you very much, Christy. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you all. Thank you all. Please go on and make sure you subscribe to patriotsperspective.com. That's how we're able to actually get any new articles out to you or even new interviews. You should automatically be getting emails. If not, please let me know by going to the contact form. And then please do make sure that you call Governor DeSantis' office, even if you're just leaving a voice recording. Do us a favor, record your voice recording. Like if you have another phone nearby, basically what I've had to do is get 2 phones today nearby and record with your other phone so that people can hear you calling and go on live. So we encourage each other so we know it's done and they can't run from it. Tag Governor DeSantis on his Twitter. Make sure you tag at Megan Walsh. I think it's at Megan Walsh _. You can find her there and tag at News Behind Truth. I think is my Twitter handle. Sorry, guys, but you just search Patriots Perspective. I believe it's News Behind Truth. Make sure you search that and tag us to make sure that, we know like you've actually done this, because that's a big thing. For us to be transparent with each other, not just say you're going to do it, but actually do it. That's the reason we came on today. We want to make sure that you guys actually saw us doing it. And yeah, it's a pain because they put this and they make the wait times 21 minutes. And then, you are willing to hold and they still force you to voicemail, but that's okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to write the letter to the governor's office and send to their media. And whenever I do that, I'm actually going to post that letter on Patriots Perspective so all of you can see that it is happening. So just basically make sure that you guys all do it. And hey, we've got this, because the more the merrier. And again, we're here for everybody, so if you want to come clean on something, hey, feel free to. We'll be happy to give you a platform. We will not judge. That is for the throne of God. That's not for us, because I like to do unto others as you would have other, as he would, I like to do unto others as I want others to do unto me, which I think is a very basic way to live life. I don't like to live life with no regrets. And we have to take advantage of the opportunities that have been forced upon us, such as Adam Walsh's birthday. It is not by our choice that Megan's brother was murdered and utilized for, an entire community and to change laws and to do all of these things, but we are forced to deal with it. So we have to play the enemy back on themselves sometimes. So that's what we're here to do. And, do it, as Megan often says, with grace and dignity and love, because that's the only way we're going to win. And God's got this. And we're out. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you for watching Patriots Perspective. Again, go to patriotsperspective.com for truthful news. And make sure that if you want to support Megan, she has her Give, Sing, Go /Megan Walsh. And then she also has Family, Farm, and Faith @gmail.com. That is her PayPal. So she uses the money to, pay for her phone bill, her attorney's bills, and for her appeals and other things that she has to have for court. And trust me, it's a lot. So I hope that you guys have a blessed day. I'm going to read through the comments really quick. Hold on. Let's see comments really quick. Oh, thank you guys for the love. So let's see what else we have. Is there any way somebody can make a video telling the facts concerning Megan's case to share? This may help in gaining supporters. Hey, Kay, that's actually a great suggestion. So here's what I'm going to do. We've done a lot of podcasts going over the facts. That's actually a great question. And my mom is actually helping me download all the interviews and re-airing some of them, because some of them pertain to, the fathers for Megan's kids, because some people wanted to know about that. Some people wanted to know about the different parts about the facts of Megan's case. And so, yeah, we basically will go on and do an update regarding the facts of her case whenever I get the blog post out, so that you guys can see those, because I do agree with you that I think it will help gain supporters. And then also, I'm encouraging Megan to share some of the photos that were having to be held over for her case, as proof and stuff, so she has photos of like the interior of the home. To me, it looks fantastic. Probably looks better than most of our homes. And it did not look like a hazmatic mess. I think anybody can, and I have not seen any photos that look like a hazmatic mess. Maybe I'm missing them somewhere. So if anybody's got them, please feel free to come forward with them, because I have not seen them. I have seen photos that look really nice. I see photos of Megan and her children. The children always look happy. And, it is what it is. But when it comes to different things, sorry, K-Tai, I apologize if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Brevard County Sheriff has over $1 billion budget. Why? Okay, that's a good question. That's in Brevard County, Florida. I assume that Brevard County, Florida, Kate. So this is something that does need to be researched. Can you try to get the budget from them, Kate? See if you can get the budget from them, like actually get the line item budget, or see if it's posted on their website. And so we can start doing some FOIA requests in your area. We'll call them. We'll find out. The commissioners meeting should be able to answer some of the questions, but that's what we have to basically do, is start equipping each other in each region. I say it's a precinct party. We have to have precinct parties. So you have to start a precinct party in your precinct. And as we're taking care of Miami-Dade here and having to do a lot of different things here, Megan has been working on Indian River County, and a couple of other counties that she's aware of things going on in. But everybody, if we can just teach each other what to do, especially with these child protective service providers, basically going in, doing their licensing search. I'm going to tell you guys how to do that. I'm going to try to do it in a short video, if at all possible, so that you can see it really, really quickly. You can reference it, but I'll also link a blog post to it so that you can easily just be able to see what's happening and go in and see what's happening with the providers in your area. Because believe it or not, I think that's a lot of where these things start. Most people will not listen to long podcasts. Okay. Before they are interested. I totally agree with you, KT. I love your suggestions and appreciate them very much. They don't really want to listen. That is very true. We try to keep things under an hour, but I do want to make sure that, it's basically a discussion sometimes too, like we're having now. And if people want to listen, they can listen. If not, unless you're just going to call Governor DeSantis, I would rather people just see it as a call to action to call them. So you're exactly right. I will try to do a better job of at the beginning of the podcast, just saying, hey, this is what we want you to do. But if you want to stay on for the conversation and hear why, and not listen to your regular talk radio or your television, hang on here. Okay. So we try not to do an intro today, even play an intro for Patriots Perspective. You can hear that on other broadcasts, because I was trying to really get Megan on so before she had to leave to go for her drug test, because she was also on the dark outpost earlier today. And she's been on several other shows. She's on Insight, I believe it's INCITE. I believe it's Insight. That is another channel that she's been on. And she's on several other channels. They refuse to line out on a budget. Okay, that's interesting. So they refuse to line out on a budget. Florida Today has tried for years. Oh, interesting. Yes, record your conversation, please. Oh, yeah, I will definitely record the conversation with the governor's office. I mean, you heard the conversation that we've had with the media department. And fortunately, the media department did answer right away. Actually, there was not even an answering machine pickup at first. In the past, when I've called, there's been an answering machine pickup. But yes, record your conversations, please. Yes, absolutely. And you know what? I'm going to say, if you guys want to copy Patriots Perspective News at gmail.com on any of your emails, whenever you're requesting these FOIA requests, feel free to do that, just so you have proof that you did send them. And you can track them, because I'm going to share with you how to actually track this FOIA request so that everybody knows how to do it in their area. Okay. So peace out, everybody. Love you all. Thank you for listening. And please make sure you share and give this a thumbs up. And please call Governor DeSantis' office, even if we think it's a waste of time. Okay. Thanks so much.